And we are back in the game with some more Imperium Surrectum, the RTR mod. And this is a mod for TotalWar Rome Remastered. Now, it's been a while since I did any of this. I did try to do an Iceni campaign in a previous version. Unfortunately, there was some bugs in the mod that were kind of preventing me from getting too far in. Plus, I was getting beat up on the battlefield. I was just getting overwhelmed. Now, I can't remember exactly what difficulty I chose for that. Hopefully I wasn't stupid enough to have chosen very hard and very hard, and we won't be choosing that today. Today, for my own personal enjoyment, we'll be doing medium campaign, as the mod is still a work in progress, and I'm not even sure what it's balanced around for. But anytime you play a TotalWar game or a mod, you should always do it for your personal enjoyment, and that means putting on whatever settings you enjoy. So we need to pick a faction, and no, it's not going to be the Romans, because I'm actually doing a personal Rome campaign. Like I said, this is a still work in progress, and a lot of the Roman units are not actually included in this version, so I'll probably wait until they are. But I've been having fun playing the Romans, even though they don't have their full roster. So, let's see, we'll select a new game, the Imperial campaign. Now, I'm going to select a short campaign, but I think the short campaign victory conditions are actually the same as this. Alright, I'm familiar with the names of most of these settlements. This is the version that has 900 plus regions, I think. It's a massive map, absolutely massive. In my personal Rome campaign, I've managed to conquer 360 regions, and that's only Italy, Iberia, Gaul, North Africa up to Tunis, Greece, most of the Balkans, the western part. That's 360 regions right there in that area. So yeah, it's pretty massive. Alright, but I know where most of those are, and I know how to get to them. Well, this is actually, if you're doing the Roman one, I'm going to be doing the Antigonid Kingdom, which is these people, the Macedonians. And again, it is 100 settlements. So I know where those are. Right, Kyrene is over there, Alexandria is over there, Mediolanum is up there. So basically capturing all of Greece, parts of the Balkans. It does say Rome, right? Yeah, Rome and Mediolanum, so I guess we'll probably end up conquering most of Italy. And we need to send an expedition over to North Africa at some point. But you know what? I don't think I'm going to do that. Or will I? Maybe I should just choose my own victory conditions. Right, it doesn't say anything about wiping out any other factions, does it? What we could do... let's see, victory conditions. You know what, I'll decide that later, because I'm not 100% set on it. As I said, it's still a work in progress. This might get changed around in the next version, and it might not even be the same when the mod is declared finished. And again, you should always just play the game how you want, for fun. If you don't like the victory conditions, you don't have to go for them. I'm not even certain there's a victory screen set up, so even if you got them, you wouldn't get the minimal satisfaction of being told that you had actually won. So I guess we'll just start it, and of course there are a lot more factions in it. There's a lot of Greek factions or Hellenic factions that have been added in. I don't know if any factions are going to get added into the next version or not. Right, so we'll get started. I did say medium, and later on I'll put in some victory objectives in the description. So we could go through and read all of this, but that's a lot of reading, and you probably want to see me play the mod. I guess that's what you're here for. So this is now being recorded just after the channel has reached 400 plus subscribers, and just after the channel has reached 100,000 views. So both of those milestones actually came in the same week, December 2022. So pretty amazing, and thanks to everyone that's managed to get the channel this big and watched so many times. Hopefully this series attracts a lot more viewers and subscribers. Yeah, so you see how much there is to read. Now the mod team has put a lot of effort into it. This is version 0.5.1, I think. So there's been a lot of progress so far. A lot more to come. I guess modding will probably slow down at the Christmas time. Things will pick up again next year. So we'll probably have time to finish this version, win or lose, before the next one comes out. So let's get started. I believe there is an intro video. I think it's the same for all of the Hellenic factions. In fact, I think it's the same one from the Vanilla Rome Remastered campaign. Let's go and take a look. Oh, you know what we should also do first? Let me just go to the custom battle section and give you a preview of some of their units. And there it is. As expected, they're going to have a lot of spears, a lot of hoplites, and a lot of pikes. There was a previous bug in the mod where the artillery was causing it to crash, but that has, as far as I know and as far as I've experienced, been totally fixed. So of course we get the Hellenic units, but we also get access to a lot of Balkan units, or units from the various Balkan tribes. Illyrians, Negrianians, Thracians, Tralians, or is it Terralians? More Illyrians. There's some Rhodians out there. There's the archer one, the Cretan archers. Now, I also think that there's a reform event somewhere during the campaign where you gain access to some new units. Where are those Cretan archers? I swear there are Cretan archers. There they are. Cretan archers, very famous unit, along with the Rhodian slingers. So we've got a good mix. There are some sword units, dedicated sword units, and melee units, but we'll have a lot of spears, hoplites, and phalanxes. So yeah, enough of me talking, but of course you're going to hear a lot more of me talking once we get started.
The Greeks could rule the world. Alexander did. He took a Greek army to the far Indus. There was nothing left to conquer. The world was his. But Alexander is dead. His empire is gone. And so we live in evil days. The free men of Greece have turned on each other instead of their proper enemies, those who envy all that Greeks have done. Alexander must weep if the dead weep. I would weep in his place, but I would also hope. The world turns. What was may come again. The fates still spin the web of men's lives. So now, perhaps the gods wish Greeks to be great again. Perhaps a new Alexander will take up the sword. Bring order where there is chaos. Remake the world of men to a better plan. Perhaps.
Alright, a nice little video there, intro video. That does come from the Vanilla Rome Remastered, but still very good at setting the atmosphere, isn't it? Or I believe it is. It is for me. Now, I did say a lot of Hellenic factions were added, I think in version 042 or 050, and now that makes the neighbourhood a little cramped for the Macedonians. I could call them the Antigonids, but I'm just more familiar with calling them Macedonians. But at some point during the campaign I'll probably also call them Antigonids. So there it is, Antigonid, and that looks like some artwork that was kind of like with the movie Alexander. What was that, 2004 it came out? Yeah. He had a famous horse. He named his horses, didn't he? What was the name of his horse? Bucephalus? Something like that. I'm sure he named it. Right, Rome wasn't built in a day. Defeats are only setbacks. Good luck, General. I've had many a setback playing Total War since Total War Shogun 1 came out. That's how old I am. Right. You can go into debt, especially as one of the smaller factions. If you go into debt early on, don't worry about it. It's not a problem. It can be overcome. A lot of people are somewhat upset at the current balancing, but I haven't found it much of a problem. Playing a medium or large faction, you will get out of debt if you go into debt very quickly. If you play as one of the small factions that only have one region, you can be in some trouble. But you'll see all of that very soon. Right, our agents. We have two. We have a diplomat and a spy. Right, there's our spy, there's our diplomat over here. We get a good overview. Now I'm actually, in my personal Rome campaign, I only have 67 turns left. I've played 500 turns in it. So yeah, so we're actually one of the larger factions, 21 regions starting. Our faction leader, Antigonus Gonatas, is 50 years old. Now, interestingly, in my personal Rome campaign, I've got a general, and I need to get a screenshot of him. He's 100 years old, exactly. Well, actually, he might be a little older. I'll have to go and check. He was 100 the last time I checked in on him. And I guess I should check in on him a little more often if he's that old. I've got him as a governor. Right, but our leader is 50, so I've actually had a lot of adoptions in my Roman campaign, where I've had generals offered to me in their 50s and 60s. I turn those down. But old age is not too much of a problem in this. And enemies, we start out with two. Now the rebels are called the Free Peoples. We're at war with the Galatians, who are over in Anatolia, or they should be, and that's where they should stay. And we're at war with Epirus, which is over right around there. We've got a rebel settlement between us and them. So we need to start getting trade. We have settlements all the way down from Macedonia down into southern Greece. So here we have the iconic Spartans. There are a few Total War YouTubers who have already done Spartan campaigns. You should definitely go and check them out. Alright, there's a Spartan diplomat. So we border the Spartans here, and let's see, we have Athens over here, we have the Boeotian League over here, and there's another league somewhere over here. The Achaean or Achaean. I know some people are going to complain about my pronunciation, but I call them both. Just like I call these ones Macedonians and Antigonids, I call these ones Achaeans and Achaeans. I do not call them Acadians. Although, isn't Acadia part of Greece, or in ancient times it was? Right, so there's Epirus, the Achaeans, Boeotians, Spartans, and Athenians. And of course, up here we've got some Balkan tribes. And the Galatians would be, if I zoom out and focus in on the map, the Galatians will be somewhere around here. There they are, at Ankara. Now we've got Bithynians over here, we've got Pergamese over here, we've got various, actually we have territory in Anatolia as well. We probably won't hold on to them for long. We've got Rhodians over here, we've got the Seleucids, and there are a lot of Ptolemaic Kingdom, or Egyptians, with colonies all throughout here. So again, I haven't decided on my victory conditions, but we'll see what we shall see later on. Maybe just see how it develops. Now I'm going to get a diplomat over there, 750 to recruit. We start with 10,000, and you can see that we're anticipating going into the red, losing money. Now there are a few things you can do. Let's see, do we have any ships? I do. I have 2 ships already. Am I going to use them? Yes, I am. And the reason I'm going to use them is because I want to transfer more diplomats all throughout the map and get some trading going on ASAP. And I want to do some naval invasions later on. Right, I'm just going to move the other ship there just in case I forget, because we'll get another diplomat here. That is putting money into agents instead of units. Now, let's see, we're probably going to lose this settlement. It's not bringing in much money, 653. We could raise a tax, but we're paying 500 plus, 330, and 874. So whatever we're paying for those outweighs what we're getting from there. And we're probably going to lose that settlement, because like I said, we've got 1, 2, Seleucids is 3, Pergamese is 4 factions right around it. So I'm going to disband you. It's a nice looking unit. There you have a better looking or a better view of them. Again, a lot of work has gone in to telling you about the units. I'm not sure how many units are in it, but there's a lot already. Also, merchants have been disabled in this particular version. Apparently they were using up too many resources. No pun intended. What's that? He's got a little red crab on there. That looks pretty cool. So we're going to get rid of him. Now, just for this turn, we'll put it onto low tax so it doesn't cause any trouble. Get my diplomat out, then destroy the buildings as we can, get some money back from that. Again, it'll probably get conquered by somebody or rebel. I prefer if it rebelled first. So we've got 2 more diplomats coming in. We've got this one. We're at war with Epirus, but again, I think we're going to get attacked down here. Probably lose some territory, but let's come on down and talk to the people down here. Now I'm going to send my spy through the mountains. It looks like there's a mountain chain over here. So there's another rebel settlement up here that we've discovered. Get over there and see what the Epirot forces are doing. Now these ones are not particularly happy, whereas those ones are quite happy. Ah yes, I did notice that there is one small bug. Now somebody is going to say in the comments section that I need to change something in my settings to make the realistic settings, and that should fix this, but it doesn't. Not on the Macedonian. That is the only faction, and I tested it out. That's the only one where the peasant unit card still shows up. That's a well-known bug in this mod, but fixing it only takes one change in your graphics settings, but it doesn't work on the Macedonians, at least not for me. And yes, I did verify the game files before I installed the mod and again afterwards, but it's not a problem. I end up just getting those ones killed off in any case. So those are missile cav and those are light infantry. I haven't actually recruited any of those, so I don't know if it will still show up. But it's not a problem for me. All the rest of the units do work fine. These ones work fine in battle. They didn't cause any crashes. So we've got another rebel settlement up there. But do we concentrate on taking rebel settlements? Or do we try to knock out Epirus? That's the question. I'm going to send those to my capital, because they're cavalry and they will be useful. Now you, I'm going to try and leave like one unit per settlement. If I take that general out, because I'm going to need some generals leading the armies. I actually think that general was causing some unrest there. Right. Yeah. I just want to leave like one unit behind. Ah, we've got heavy cav there. Right. You go and join up with him. We will get out of debt fairly quickly, so again, don't worry about it. We'll keep one unit per settlement where that's feasible. Try to keep the happiness between 85 and 100 for me. I'll probably pull those ones out so we can have more cavalry in my armies. We can definitely raise your taxes. We can raise yours. We'll raise yours, but we'll come down and pick your extra units up. Now what do we do down here, because Megalopolis is rather isolated. It's got rebel settlement there. Now the wonders do work, and for those of you who have played the original Rome or even the Rome Remastered, you know that you can get a lot of benefits from capturing the region that these are in. So we've got one here. We've got the Colossus of Rhodes, and you should be able to see him if you fight on the battle map there. We've got the mausoleum at Halicarnassus, and there's another one up here at Ephesus, and we've got the one right there, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, which may or may not have ever really existed, and we've got the lighthouse at Alexandria. I always like to capture the one at Rhodes, because that gives you a 40% boost to all naval trade. I think this one gives you a boost to loyalty from all Greek settlements, is it? Something like that. So yeah, this one's rather isolated. Now we've got a general in there, but if we get attacked, I don't know if we can resupply him. We've got 3 settlements on this island, and I do not know what this island is called. Somebody will probably tell me. And then we've got another 3 settlements over here. So you see we're quite split up. That's rather isolated. Those are rather isolated. Those are isolated. That one's a bit isolated. I think that's the only one out here we have. Looks like it. So I'm going to raise your tax, but I fully expect to lose you But we'll see how the campaign works out. We might try to consolidate these because we've got an extra general there. Yeah, let's group them together. Ah, blast. Where did he go around? Wasn't he stationed right there? No, we've got some Achaeans there. Right, you go for that one instead. And I'll give you those extra units. There are a lot of mercenaries available, but not showing up yet. But they are quite expensive. Watchtowers are 1,000 and forts are 850. I personally would have changed that to make that lower or to make that one higher. So yeah, you go and attack that, unless any of these settlements come under attack by actual factions, and then you can try to relieve them. Yeah, happiness there is good enough. We'll boost your attacks. We'll make this episode probably an hour long, or close to, because it's the very first one. And let's put, oh, there's actually a fourth settlement up there, isn't there? We'll put those units together and raise your tax, and you're already at the highest tax level, so we'll bring this general down because there is a rebel settlement there. That will get us closer to joining up over here. Maybe there's only a few ways to get through for the Epirates. I don't know how many settlements they have or how many starting armies they have, but it might take them a while to come over here. They might also get in a war down here with the Achaeans, so that's why we need a good line of sight over there. But yeah, if we could very quickly join up over here, we could take this one and then maybe sail over here. I don't think there's a land bridge over there, but yeah, we could join up. That would make us a lot stronger. I mean, we've got enough. After we lose that one, we're going to have 20 settlements, so we should have a good population pool, shouldn't we, to recruit from. Right, so I've only got 7,500 left. Well, I might as well raise your tax. So we'll see what we can construct. Now if we go and click on here, we can see our settlements, and we can select them by which ones have governors. They have a governor, and it tells you his name. Let's see who's making the most money. Not surprisingly, it's our capital. Now you can tell your capital by the fact that the icon here has the the reef around it, the golden reef. The other ones do not. They're all just plain icons. Ooh, I'll have to lower that one. So yep, that's how you tell the faction capital. So that is our faction capital, and that is making us the most money at the moment. Let's see what we can build. Now it is recommended, and I can attest to this from personal experience, that if you either want to avoid going bankrupt or want to get out of it very quickly, you need to build at the very beginning of your campaign buildings that provide growth, like farms, but also markets. They have a 0.5% growth. Let me see our temples. That one upgrades weapons. Right, this one makes civil buildings cheaper, and that's also happiness. So farms, we don't have any temples to boost growth, so farms and markets, and that will give you more people to tax, because if we go over here we can see that we're getting most of our money from taxation. Alright, 15,000 plus from taxation. We're only getting 3,700 from trade, and we're actually beating that by farming. So yeah, we're going to build growth. Anything that provides growth. Right, so we're not going to have too much money. Let's see, we've got 4,500 people there, and we're actually losing population on very high. You also have a lot of people, but again, you might come under attack, so maybe not build it there. This one, Larissa, I'm going to put that in because we want to get them above 6,000, so we have access to even more buildings. You're close. You'll be close to upgrading. Argos, not the catalogue chain from the UK. A totally different chain. Also, there is something interesting I noticed. This one, Oreos. Yay! I did not know Oreos came from Greece, but they do. They are made by Orions. Bet you didn't know that, did you? Learn something new every time you play a Total War game. Alright, Thessaloniki. Good population. We're taking out one character. Alright, Demetrius, I think we'll put that in. Probably just get 2 more farm buildings, maybe. Alright. So they've just reached 6,000. They've just upgraded right at the start, haven't they? So that's good for them. Alright, you have a ways to go. You only have 0.5% growth. Well, we'll put it in. You might get attacked. You might not. You're actually losing population, like that. And we got 1150. We can get some of the smaller ones at 600. So we only have enough for a temple now. Let's see. I'm going to put that somewhere else. I'm going to put it right there. Okay, we are out of money apart from 50 coins. We'll probably just end up fighting some rebels, which will look very similar to our faction. I think I've done everything that I needed to do. I've got my 2 ships there, waiting for agents. My agents have moved. I don't think I have any generals sitting around in any forts or outside any settlements, apart from that one who I misclicked on. He's only got 6 units and they've got 7, as they have 5. I wonder how aggressive they're going to be. I'll go over there. Of course, capturing that one would join up over here. Actually, that one is preventing us, because if we try to get... No, we can get around to it fairly quickly, can't we? But that one should just be a little easier. And we're going to end the very first turn. Last that took a long time, didn't it? We also have event messages. Alright. There are filters, so you can turn off various event messages if you get tired of seeing too many of them. So yeah, in the current version, I'll go ahead and accept that and try not to forget what I was about to say. Now, do I want to try and get an alliance with them? Actually, before I do that, well, that just says it's balanced.
An agreeable proposal.
Okay, that's very demanding. They're not that friendly. Right. Okay, so we're going to have the Achaeans. I thought they were going to offer us trade as well. Now, we're all familiar with the diplomacy in TotalWar and the AI, and they'll offer you trade and then attack you in the same turn. But that didn't happen. So we've had an offer of adoption, and he's only 25, so I'm going to accept him. Right, a new son has been adopted at Pella, so he might go and do some fighting. Let's see if all of our settlements are still happy. Lots of green faces, and that one is the one that's going to rebel, even though we put it on lower tax. But you can now go and talk to Ptolemaic Kingdom.
A most generous
proposal. Right, that's balanced. They are at war with Kyrene, and we do, if we follow the current victory conditions, we do need to capture Kyrene in any case. That's somewhere around modern day Tripoli, I think. Right, let's offer it to them, because that would give us a very powerful ally. It might prevent some people from attacking us, but then again it might cause others to get upset with us.
A most generous welcome, friend.
I doubt if we can get map info. There are certain factions that do not like to give it out. This is one of them. The worst one are the Seleucids. They never want to give out map info. Yeah, see, that's going to be very demanding, and I don't want to upset them. But the good thing is, we can actually talk to multiple factions in the same turn. Unlike some Total War titles. Now, I'm going to send you up here looking for the Seleucids. Well, actually, I'll send you up there, because Pergamon is up there. Right, now that's going to rebel in any case, so might as well stick it on high tax and destroy the buildings. See, we've gone negative, but we can get some money back. I mean, it was going to make us some money, but oh well. Some people don't like to lose any territory when they play, and I can understand that. And some people are very good at holding on to every piece of territory in their kingdom. Sometimes I make difficult choices like what I'm going to hold on to and what we're not going to hold on to. Right, you get on there. Now I'm going to sail one of you up through the Black Sea to talk to factions around the Black Sea. Whereas you, I'm going to try and get you over here to talk to the Carthaginians, and there are two other factions in North Africa, the Macedon and the Macilii, cousins I think. I know they caused, or helped to cause, the downfall of Carthage, one of them siding with Carthage and one of them siding with the Romans. Now there's my diplomat, and we talk to the Spartans, and we're going to try and talk to the Boeotians. Alright, balance. Balance. Alright, map info. Now, they might still turn on us. At the start of the game, well, actually all throughout it, the AI factions get a large cash bonus. But you can see them going bankrupt. But definitely at the start, they're going to be boundless wealth. So let's try to get some of that. Alright, that's still generous. Might even break even. Again, this is on medium. If you play on highest difficulty, you might not be able to get as much money.
Would you consider?
Alright, now this actually happens quite a lot. They don't always want to give you the map info, and they will counter by offering you more money. Now if I ask for map info again, alright, they bumped it up a little bit, not much. I bet we get them to about 2. Right, so that only went up by an extra 60. If we do it again, we might get to 240, but they might say no. In fact, in Medieval 2, you can actually predict it very accurately to how high they will go after their first offer. but we're going to accept that.
Our thanks.
So they got my map info. Ah yes, there's actually another one, isn't there? Another faction. There's the Aetolian, Achaean, Boeotian leagues. Right. We can't get to the Athenian diplomat, so we'll just come straight to Athens. Alright, where am I going to send him to? Right. I'm going to send him there. I want to know how tough they're going to be if we're outnumbered. Especially as they're going to have very similar units. Now, still no mercenaries, but there will be. There will be a good fair amount of mercenaries. I generally find that whichever region you're in, there's usually something like 6 to 12 mercenary units available. Most of them do cost a fair amount more than your regular units. Right, so I'm going to bring him down, and that's my faction leader. So he actually got replaced there by that new guy who I accepted. So if we take out all of those, no, he doesn't move very quickly, does he? Very far, I should say. Right. And we'll give them that cavalry. And they're still happy enough. And then you'll pick up those 2 units. I might actually leave. Let's see. Greek hoplites. Greek hoplites. One of these, I think this unit actually gets a javelin. Those don't. So those are have a little more versatility, but are the same price, or very close to the hoplites. Yeah, I guess we'll leave them in. And you'll come down there. So you'll have maybe enough for one more little farm somewhere. Or are we going to be 1 coin short? Let's see. Let's see, is there a farm available? There is, at Hermani. Yep, there's Hermani. Yeah, there's no growth there because we got them on normal, but let's get some growth because we're going to go negative again. War declared between Boeotian and Aetolian. Ah, that's good. That should keep them occupied. So we got an alliance there, and we got an alliance there. Now we don't want to get drawn into any wars because we're already at war over here. Let's get that spy moving over. Aha, we just discovered 5 regions, all of which are rebel. I'm not going to call them the free peoples because they will not remain free for very long. Well, if the AI has anything to do with it, or if I have anything to do with it, but there are no Epirot forces up here, so they've got to be further south. Right, there's their capital at Ambracia. So I guess these areas are fairly safe. Let's get in another. Oh, we do have. We got that one built, and we got the diplomats recruited and moving. Let's make sure everyone is moving. Yep, no movement points left. No movement points for the ships. Let's hope we can get a battle in.
Greetings.
Alright, thanks, Athens. Now, they are not at war with anyone, but they are allied to the Boeotians, who we are also now allied to.
An agreeable proposal.
What about an alliance?
A most generous welcome, friend.
What about map info? Now, again, generous, but I bet they counter with an offer of more money.
Would you consider?
Yeah, we did.
Would you consider?
Alright, they went up by 1100.
Would you consider
Alright, then only 60. I'm going to accept.
our thanks?
So that's good.
Greetings.
And trade from the Achaeans, but I'm not offering them. Oh, actually those are not at war with anyone, are they? And they are allied also to the Ptolemaic factions.
An agreeable proposal.
Alright,
A most generous welcome, friend.
it is. It was most generous. We're actually doing quite well. Better than I was expecting.
Would you consider?
Alright, they countered with exactly the same amount of money as the other faction,
Would you consider?
and only slightly less.
Would you consider? Would you consider?
Alright, so they only went up by 40 from the last one. We might get them to 1910, but then again they might say no.
Our thanks,
But,
dear friend.
no, we can't give you an alliance, because if we give them an alliance, I think that breaks our alliance with the Boeotian League, and we've got a very good reputation. So, we're going to counter that.
A most generous proposal.
And see if we get some more money.
Dear friend.
I don't want that alliance. Sorry.
Dear friend.
No alliance.
Dear friend.
No alliance.
Dear friend.
Just give me some money. Don't come back with the alliance.
A most generous
Alright.
proposal.
So I see the Achaeans actually tried to capture that settlement. We have another adoption, Craterus. We're going to accept him. Alright, so that one got occupied by who? Ah, it got occupied by Rhodes, so the Rhodians landed some troops and occupied it. We're now at war with those. There was rioting there, and we have a new son at Chalkis. Right. I wonder, can I get him over there? They're not happy now, are they? And we are at war, but we got extra alliances. And construction. Now we are still losing money. Oh, come on, let's see if we can get a battle in. We did construct a lot of farms. Now we might be able to talk to some factions around here because Tillis is out there. Right, there's the Seleucids. But if I send you over here. Alright, there's Rhodes. I'm going to offer them peace.
Our patience is limited.
I don't want that settlement back. How about 2,000? As you have the money.
Surely you jest.
Come on.
Be quick. Our patience is limited.
I just don't want another enemy for the moment.
Surely you jest.
Come on.
Be quick. Our patience is limited.
They're being rather tight-fisted there.
Surely you jest. Be quick.
Alright, come on.
Our patience is surely you
Ah,
jest.
seriously?
Be quick.
Alright, just
Our
ceasefire.
patience is limited.
They are being very tight.
Surely you jest. Be quick.
Come on.
Our patience, you again.
Alright, then don't. Don't. Can we get there?
Welcome, friend.
Ah, we already start with that. Let me show you. Very demanding. They do not like to give it up.
Regretfully, we must
They're
decline.
bankrupt already. Okay, so we can still talk to Pergamon up here. If we come up here, we can talk to Tillus and the Odrysians. Right, there's our other ship, which is going to sail off to North Africa. And go and take a look with our little spy there. Alright, we found an Epirote settlement, actually 3 new ones. But they don't look like they have too many troops up there, do they? Alright, we can get to that one. We don't have any artillery yet. Artillery is very useful. Want to prioritise a settlement to get that. Alright, that makes you a little upset. But now you're okay. Now you're okay. I mean, we could try moving those units over. They did not sally out from there. Might be able to bump your tax up. Let's check those settlements. I do like the music. Mod has some nice music. It does have the original Rome soundtrack, I believe. Fairly certain it does. Alright, so we're still going to go into debt, but we have armies. We've got 2 armies out there, and we are getting a lot more trade, or a lot of trade rights, and we have built some farms, so the population should be increasing in a number of places. And once we start conquering some territory, we'll be doing a whole lot better. There's also a settlement there owned by the Aetolians. So those are Boeotians, those are Aetolians, and Aetolians are there. Where's their capital? They've got another one there. Yeah, there's a settlement up there. If we could take that and then come up here, then we could get the Temple of Zeus, isn't it? Yeah, that'd be good. Alright, that's actually around about an hour already, and we didn't get a battle, but we've got 2 settlements under siege. This one can hold for 7, this one can hold for 6 more. I don't know if we want to try attacking. Actually, as we don't have artillery, they've got a fairly good stone wall in there already. So do they. You'd expect that in Greece. Yeah, we might have to siege those down. If it looks like I have to siege them down, in the next episode I'll just pause it until we actually get to a battle point. But we'll keep moving the diplomats around. In fact, we have moved them, haven't we? Yeah, we've already talked to those, and we did already talk to the Aetolians. Let's find out. We go to here, no, the main one, and then we can see our trading partners. Yep, Aetolians, Seleucids, Boeotians. It's actually not that hard to get protectorates, or as they're later called, vassals. I actually have a lot of factions come and ask me for protection when they do get down to a few settlements. So that's not uncommon. The AI will try to get out of wars and try to save itself by asking bigger factions for protection. So I have a free diplomat at the moment. I might even be able to talk to the Epirotes. Mightn't I? maybe get a piece with them. But that's where we'll end this one. So I hope you've enjoyed the first episode in our Antigonid/Macedonian campaign in Rome Total Realism, Imperium Surrectum.